Served in such a high-profile case. Members of the jury who sat for the Jeffrey Dahmer trial, now nearly 30 years ago, certainly can relate.
Our Rebecca Clough sat down with one of them about the pressure and responsibility.
I made all these individual squares.
Lori Sunt took up crochet while she was a juror for the Jeffrey Dahmer trial. Every night after court, she worked on this blanket from her hotel room. She was sequestered and not allowed to talk to family or other jurors one-on-one.
The television was actually plugged into what looked like an extension cord and locked. It had a key lock on it. And the telephone was dead. They could see all the jurors coming in and out of their rooms.
Although jurors in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial will not be sequestered, they still have a big decision to make. For Lori and others, that decision was whether or not Dahmer was insane at the time of his crimes. She said during the 2-week trial, she was scared.
The first night, I went back to my jury room and I was looking under my bed.
Was it hearing all that, seeing all that?
It was being there in present detail, or in the presence of Jeffrey Dahmer, and hearing in detail the gore of his crimes that just came as a shock value.
In 1992, 10 out of the 12 jurors had to agree, or it could be ruled a mistrial. Lori said 2 jurors were adamant that Dahmer was insane and refused to change their vote. This left the other 10 needing to agree he was sane in order to convict. Lori admits she was the one juror on the fence.
So you were that person?
I was that person.
You could have changed the whole Jeffrey Dahmer case.
I wouldn't give myself that much credit, because equally with the dissenting jurors, there were others that felt very strongly there was no evidence of insanity. So, yes, my mind had to be changed.
And eventually, she did change her mind, agreeing Dahmer was sane. Here she is in 1992, talking to our partners at Court TV immediately after the verdict.
I had a hard time understanding if Jeffrey Dahmer, in fact, was mentally ill. What kind of a pardon my expression, but what kind of a kook, insane person would do something like that to somebody else? And then on the other hand, was it all calculated? Did he have all these murders premeditated?
Lori understands the weight of the decision the 12 jurors in Kenosha have to make.
I realized that there were souls behind the names, and the victims' families were in the audience.
Now, nearly 30 years after sending Dahmer to prison, Lori says she has never rethought her decision.
When we put our pens down on the pad of paper, they wouldn't allow us to take anything out of the jury room after deliberations. That's when it ended for me. When the trial was done, it was done for me as well.
Reporting in Milwaukee, Rebecca Clough, TMJ4 News.